The select committee examined more than 58 organizations, experts, and the views of the states also. And after the detailed deliberation, the committee approved this bill with the one amendment, that is only for the purpose of the compensation to the states. The rest of the amendment, which is earlier suggested by the Lok Sabha, which is before the Rajya Sabha, is accepted by the committee.
Congress has called this bill actually half-baked, saying that there are a lot of exceptions and in fact has said that the revenue neutral rate should be fixed at 18%. What are your thoughts on that?
When you bring a constitutional amendment, you can't fix a cap on a GST, because sometimes economy is so much growing and there is so much exercising in the economy that you can't fix a cap. And when you fix the cap, again you will come for the constitutional amendment. So better to fixing a cap on the GST. It is better that this power we will give to the GST Council, and the state and center both will be the member in the council. So they will decide according to the situation.
I think it's much better to pass the GST even if it's not in its perfect form, because within a few months or a year or so you can modify it to the best form. So it's very important because it adds tremendous value to the company. And I'm quite hopeful that it can be implemented by April 1st,
2016. And more importantly, this 1% additional state levy, this whole idea of uniformity goes for a toss when you say 1% additional state levy. And more importantly, government taking in, giving state compensation for first 5 years will also mean a severe revenue crunch for the government. These two are extremely contentious issues, aren't they?
No. One is that 1% is a compromise, which is temporary. It doesn't matter, we must get the GST through. Some compromises have to be made when new legislation is required. Secondly, the guarantee of the government for 5 years, in my view, not a penny will have to be paid, because all the states will have higher revenue once GST comes into place, because evasion of indirect taxes will become extremely difficult. So it's just an insurance policy that the government is giving to the states. It won't cost the central government anything.
Well, I think the select panel report is very positive. I think the biggest contentious issue was really whether the compensation should be for 3 years or go beyond 3 years. As you know, before the matter went to the select committee, it was 75% for 4th year and 50% for 5th year, and states were craving for 100% compensation formula for 5 years. So I think that's, in my view, a significant step forward for the states to support it. As far as the 1% levy is concerned, even before the matter went to the select committee, the 1% levy, as Adi rightly pointed out, was a compromise that was made primarily because the GST levy is at the consumption state level and not at the state of production. So many states which were high producing states felt that the entire levy of GST will move the revenues from the state of manufacturing to the state of consumption, and that is why this 1% compromise was agreed. I think in my view that's temporary, and without that compromise you couldn't have convinced the manufacturing states for the GST law. We had already known that it is going to be difficult, but the other advantage is that you need not wait for the start of the financial year for any reform of this nature. So even if we miss the April 16 deadline and it gets deferred by 1 quarter, you can always trigger it off in July.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow, and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNowLive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/user/ETNow.